Now, in our previous videos, we have talked about these isoquinolines and quinolines. There were several synthesis methods that we have discussed before. I will put the link here to our playlist, so you can go to our playlist and see whether is there any kind of video that you might be interested in. There is, so please be my guest. You can watch it and have some new knowledge for yourself. Now in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to see the Pictet-Spengler synthesis for isoquinolines. We are going to start our mechanism from this compound, right? So now what happens is, initially we are going to use this aldehyde. If I draw the structure of this HCHO, it would be like this: C, double bonded O, and hydrogen. So you know this is a aldehyde. Now what happens is, you know, nitrogen has a lone pair. This lone pair will go and attack to this carbonyl carbon. Because the carbon is electron deficient due to this oxygen bond, when the attack happens, a nitrogen and carbon will form a bond. Now this particular step is called imine formation. Imine formation. A water molecule will be removed from these two compounds. This oxygen over here will be removed alongside with these two hydrogens, and a new bond will be formed between the nitrogen and carbon. So this is the new bond that has been formed through this reaction. So I'm not going to go in much detail about this imine formation, because if you are in this level in heterocyclic chemistry, I am pretty much sure that you are familiar with imine formation. Even if you are not, I will put the link here, so you can go through this imine formation video that we have discussed in much more depth and much more detailed manner of imine formation. So you can refresh your memory about the imine formation. Otherwise, it's pretty much okay. Go along with this video, go along with this mechanism, and later you can Google search it, or you can have some assistance with our playlist also for imine formation. For now, what you need to know is, from this particular step, the imine formation, from this imine formation, a new bond will be formed between the nitrogen and carbon. So here we have the carbon and two hydrogens. So this is the new bond that has been formed between the nitrogen and carbon. Okay. So we have the compound here. At the next step, what happens is, a hydrogen will be attached to our nitrogen, as you can see here. So I have, there is this carbon, right? There is this carbon, CH2 is there, and due to the hydrogen bonding, or otherwise the hydrogen attachment, a nitrogen has gained a positive charge. Initially it has a lone pair, so it's in a neutral form. Now the hydrogen is being bonded to the nitrogen, and nitrogen has obtained a positive charge. For our next step, what happens is, you know, oxygen has a lone pair. So this lone pair will come over here to form a double bond. When that happens, this one comes over here, and when that happens, this double bond, it will push its electron density to attack this carbon. Remember, now this nitrogen is positively charged. Due to this positively charged, the bond between the nitrogen and carbon, right, there are electron density in between the carbon and nitrogen. So this electron density is much more pulled away from the carbon, and the nitrogen is been pulling back the electron towards itself because it's positive charge. So the carbon is relatively electron deficient. So this attack right over here, this attack, it's much more feasible when the nitrogen has a positive charge. In this case, let's say you may ask why this attack won't happen in this state, in natural form. In this state, both atoms are in neutral form, so this electron density is some like in the middle, right? But when the nitrogen has obtained a positive charge, what happens is, nitrogen is pulling electron from the carbon. So this bond is the electron density inside this bond, it's in favor of nitrogen. So carbon is getting like the electron density around the carbon is decreasing. When that happens, this attack over here is much more feasible. That's why we are initiating the attack in this step after the nitrogen gaining a positive charge. I hope it's clear to you. Now after that attack happens, you can see this double bond over here, it will break and nitrogen will regain its neutral form and we will have our compound like this. Now oxygen has gained a positive charge. Now what happens is, there are water molecules. So I will use a water molecule to attack this hydrogen on this particular position. So it will come and attack here, and this electron density will come over here to form a double bond. Now when that happens, this double bond over here, it will shift to this position. When that happens, one of the double bond will be break and it will regain its neutral form. The oxygen will regain its neutral form from this double bond. So we have our compound like this. Now it's on the neutral form. After that, it's pretty much easy. The oxidation will happen, right? Oxidation will happen. This hydrogen alongside with other hydrogens will be removed and double bonds will be formed. So here we have our isoquinolines. So this is our synthesis mechanism. So it's pretty much simple compared to some of other synthesis methods that we have discussed before. The important thing about this mechanism, I think, it's around this particular step. So I will suggest you that you may try this mechanism yourself for several times, maybe 4 to 5 times, right? Then I'm pretty much sure you are confident on this. Please be aware that you must focus on these arrows and how this electron attacking happens, electron pulling. Try to understand the mechanism, don't try to memorize it. If you understand the mechanism, it's pretty much easy to write it anywhere in any compounds, right? So all the best to your exam. So if you have any questions, if you need any clarifications, please feel free to comment below. I will try my best to answer those questions, and we will meet on our next video.